see how my weld is straight and then it veers off and then it comes back in again. You can see how this is lipped over higher than this tube. That's where that point is right about here. So from here down is actually pretty nice. You can get a nice weld, you can hit the baffle behind, and then you get to this point where it touches this tube, and you can see that's where this nose cone was higher than what this was.
What's like an ideal fit, I guess? For...
I would say, like, when I put the tubes together, I have an 1/8 inch gap between the tubes.
Okay.
I use my filler rod as a gauge, and I get it all to fit the same. These here, if you could get even a 1/4 inch isn't bad, but just so it's consistent the whole way around the tube, instead of being a big gap, lipped over, taller, and then back down to what this pretty much is.
Say consistency is more important than like the nominal like accuracy, like how.
Right, and just so I don't have to put it together each time.
Yeah.
It would be nice to, the amount of training I have to do to have someone do this is quite a bit, but I've been doing this for a long time, so I know. And getting to, so the other important part, when the gap's all the same around here, your top of your nose cone is level with the rest of the tube. So if they put it on there and they don't have the right gap on the top, and they put it down, and all of a sudden the nose cone's tipped up or tipped down. So without having the consistent gap at the moment, you kind of have to eyeball it. Versus if they knew what the gap was and set it there, pound it down, that's where it's supposed to be.
And for the gap you're talking, just so I'm clear, when you, after it's bent and you like match it up to the log,
It would be the gap between this and this.
right,
Yep.
equal,
Yep.
and the best would be an 1/8 of an inch,
Yeah, I do between an 1/8 and a 1/4.
1/8 and a 1/4.
Yep. Because you can get really nice welds between there.
And I was asking Harry, he said the metal, it's aluminum and 52?
Yep,
Okay.
50-52.
And then how thick is it?
90 thousandths of an inch.
90 thousandths, okay.
And then the hardness is H32.
H32. Awesome. You guys don't heat treat them or anything?
No.
No. And then for the files, you said you have the files for the sheet metal?
I have files for the blanks, but not
Yeah.
not like in that state.
Okay. Okay. Is there a limit to how long it can be?
The length that we have now is what I want to stick with.
Okay.
For the 23s anyways, the
Yeah.
25s and 27s are different, correct?
Yeah, they're different. It would be good to specify now, I guess. When you're talking about like the 25s, you said like when you have like the bow eye, it's like too close to
It
the.
is, because I'd have to measure, this one's longer than I think the 27s and 25s are. We'd have to look at the print, but yeah, then I have to move the bow eye to the front because the nose cone shrinks a little bit, and I ain't got room for this.
It shrinks with as
let me
the
grab
length
the
increases?
tape. I got.
Yeah, I'm honestly expecting that the current 23-inch jig will get scrapped, honestly. If it just makes it easier to come up with something new. I don't want that like jig that we threw together to be a constraint, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It just makes it easier.
I figure as the diameter gets bigger, I feel like we would want it to be longer.
Yeah, and you'll see in the drawings for the heights on those blanks, they do get bigger.
Yeah. Okay. But obviously, there's a certain limit. You don't want it to be out too far.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how mathematical it is, but you can kind of just see, like, if it's too long, it just kind of looks weird.
I can show you guys the difference over here.